Okay, who we have with us today on Pelican State of Mind TV?
Auntie!
That's right. Auntie, can you tell us where we at today?
Well, as you can hear, we're in my home with many dogs. Yeah, just out in the country, doing what I do.
Beautiful area, long area.
Indeed. I'm out the way, but close enough, you know.
That's what's up. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I knew you would ask that, and I'm always asked, whether it be facetiously or not, who do I think I am, right? I'm simply a black woman, which means I can be whatever is needed at the time. You know, we are synonymous with survival, right? But specifically what I do is I'm a nurse. First off, I'm a mother. I am a child advocate. I'm a bullying prevention expert. I am a civil rights activist. I'm literally whatever somebody needs. And Lord knows we have a lot of needs right now.
That's what's up. What you think about the state of mental health in the black community?
Oh my God, it's heartbreaking to watch, you know, and because it has not been addressed at all. Let me not say it all. Like it should be. It's really gotten out of hand, you know. And then now with this new governor, a lot of that is going to be cut. You know, and that's literally aimed for, you know, lower income, impoverished communities, and it's usually us. You know, so mental health is always my thing because I almost lost my mind a few times. You know, and people think that's a joke, but it's very serious. You know, when you find yourself just moving every day, you're just going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? And life becomes a habit as opposed to the experience that it's supposed to be. That's really when you have a problem.
Oh, I know about that. Trust me.
You know, I speak to kids as often as I'm allowed. I used to take it personal when people wouldn't let me, you know, go to their schools or whatever, because oftentimes when you defend children, you're going to offend an adult. So I get it, but every opportunity that I get to talk to children, I tell them the truth. You know, I may walk in there with hair done or makeup done or shoes and all this, but at one time I was fucked up just as a person. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to listen to my mom because she ain't no shit, and just rebellious. You know, and it took me having my son, who is now 25 and a Southern University graduate. You know, he beat the odds, and I would not have beat the odds had I not, number one, found out who I was. And that alone was a mental journey. You know, but I try to tell children, being a single parent is not a flex. It's not anything to be, to me, it's really not anything to be proud of, because you're literally doing the job that you're supposed to be doing. You know, if the mother is the present one, then she should be the mother. You know, these young girls today, my nieces, and oh Lord, I feel for them, because they're going to raise another generation of misguided children. You know, and it's rough.
Well, we grew up with different parents, and we know one thing: the problem starts at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'll say that it may not even be the home that's the problem, right? Because I came from a great home outside looking in, okay? I came from a two-parent household. They both were mastered plus 30 in the school system. I had brothers, all of them graduated. My sister's a doctor. I came from a very affluent family. But my problem wasn't my house. It wasn't what was in my home. It was what was in my head and in my heart, right? Because I'm an adopted child. So for a long time, I was rebellious, especially when I found out I was adopted, right? And the way I found out was actually how it goes down today. If they would have had Facebook back then, that's probably how I would have found out. But I was literally in the 6th grade at Holy Ghost school. Holy Ghost Church in Opelousas used to have a school, right? It was the only black Catholic school, matter of fact. And we used to have concession. But we didn't have just regular concession. We had like pies and shit, you know. So I go to the window to get my little concession or whatever, and that the woman goes, "You know you ain't Miss Thigh's real daughter, huh?"
Whoa.
I was like, "Well, I don't know." You know, so I went home and I asked my mom, you know, what real daughter mean? I don't know what that mean. You know, and then that's when I found out on a letter that I was adopted. And the letter was a complete lie that I found out when I turned 32. But to summarize it all is this. Adopted children are children that have a dysfunctional upbringing. You know, like mentally, they don't do well so fast. You know, sometimes we don't know who we are because we literally don't know where we come from, right? And then I went through that phase of, well, damn, I wasn't even good enough to have my mama keep me. You know what I'm saying? So I went through all of those thought processes. The fact that I would never meet my father because he was murdered. You know, all of those things played an impact. But had I not, as an adult, when I could, got mental health and went to a counselor every Thursday, I wouldn't be right here where I am. I would not. I would either be dead by homicide or dead by suicide.
Yes, I know. My mom put the best psychiatrists around me. You know, I had them problems, and especially when Trayford got killed. You know, I stayed up about 5-6 months.
Trayford Pellerin, last year in Louisiana, rest, baby.
You know, and I deal with mental health every day, but I pray and I have my family. You have to put the right people around you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And what I try to tell people is not the number of people around you. It's the loyalty and the few that you have.
Yes.
You know, because I've been in a room with 10, 20 people talking about I'm their girl and my bestie and my homie and my dog and my this and I love her. And when I had them strokes and needed some help and some love, child, just like you had trouble finding it back here, some of them never even made it back here.
Oh.
You know, but I could not, and this is growth, right? I could get mad at them. I could, but in all actuality, nobody owe me nothing.
I know.
Nobody owe you a goddamn thing.
I know.
Nobody.
So what's up with the nonprofit organization?
Bully Box. Founded back in 2019 following the death by suicide of Trey Thyssen in Baton Rouge. His name is Hart, spelled backwards. When I saw that on the news, it literally brought back childhood trauma. You know, things that, you know, children in my class would do and tease me about. And, you know, that my mama would always say, don't worry about it. People say, you know, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words, I hate that statement. So when I saw that, I literally decided to create, it was a metal box. I actually have one in there. It's a metal box from Whitman Architecture. I messaged them, I bought one, brought it to OHS, and then I messaged the company and asked them if they could mail me some to put it in. They thought the idea was fantastic, mailed me a pallet full of those boxes. So I went and I put them in the schools, you know, talked with the counselors that were present or whatever. I want to say 28 places had the Bully Box. It was my son that said, Mama, you know ain't nobody about to write no note and put that shit in no box, huh? I said, what you mean? If they put it in the safe, he was like, Mama, first of all, we not writing. And he said, second of all, they gonna clown. They gonna call you a snitch. He's like, all you gonna do is get bullied about going report the bully. So I changed it from just the box, although the box stayed, in case somebody did not feel that way, right? I changed it to partnering with my best friend, Shanitria Williams. 47 years me and that girl been friends. And she devised a curriculum, like a real-life, tangible, 9-module curriculum that would address different key points. We had been in Thrive Academy for 2 years. That funding was also cut. And the superintendent, which is Paul Sampson, he said it changed the environment of the school, right? And Bully Box is not some... See, when people hear Bully Box, let's go here. When people hear Bully Box, they automatically think of me, right? That's not what Bully Box is. Bully Box is not me. Bully Box is an entity of persons, right, who has a functional, proven curriculum that actually gets deep down into why your children are either being bullied or are the bully. Because we don't just work with the ones who've been hurt. We'll never help if we don't go to the ones that's doing the hurting too. So we literally, in that curriculum, module number 1, we set expectations. What I expect from you, and I need you to tell me what you expect from me. And we're going to have a mutual respect. Right there, it sets the tone as, oh, she might care, you know. We tell them, you know, what we're gonna do, how long it is, the perks and bonuses. We gotta give them something, you know. They just like adults. When you want an adult to do something, put it with a barbecue or a dinner sale, and they coming. Okay. Yeah. So what we do with Bully Box is we give cash. I'm not about to feed a kid bad food, but we'll give them $10 every time they come. At the end, if they fulfill the requirements, we have a team that reviews the submissions, the essays. We give $1,000 scholarship.
That's what's up.
You know, but the reason why I believe that, and I only speak for me, that it hasn't been as prosperous as it could be, is that people really have a bad taste in their mouth about me. And at one point in time, I was very concerned about fixing that. But after stroke number 4, that's no longer my concern, because what I found was the adults that really don't care for me is because they were in agreement with the actions I'm trying to fight against. And I'll take that heat all day.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Nah, to be honest, coming up, that's all we was into. We liked it to crack jokes on people, but as I got older, I see how much damage it would do. I'd like to apologize to everybody, but coming up...
That's a big step. That's one of the first things we also teach them. And it's not about apologizing because you didn't do it thinking it was wrong, right? It was just what they do. What I tell the children and what I also tell adults when they want to listen. You're not actually apologizing. You're just taking accountability for the behavior you did that hurt somebody. Right? Because you might do it again. So what now does your sorry do? Nothing. But if you say, hey, look, I realize that I may have hurt your feelings. You know, I acknowledge that. My bad.
Man, we used to just laugh. Like, everybody don't have thick skin. I found that out later on in life, too.
Well, they don't have thick skin because the home ain't thick enough, right? The reason why I was able to go through cocaine addiction, crack addiction, all that foolishness was because the foundation my mama and them laid, whether I wavered away or not, it was strong enough for me to realize what they were saying later in life, okay? What we have now is a generation of people that wanted to, you only live once. That's the generation of children we're dealing with right now, that YOLO generation, which is full of poo-poo. Yeah. You don't live once. You live every single day. You die one time.
Yeah.
And if they would take that and understand, they wouldn't be shooting and killing each other as much. You know, do you understand that we live in a time where Woody, the guy who pleaded the fifth, he's now a celebrity, sir.
Yeah.
He's a celebrity. He probably makes more money on TikTok than you do, sir. And I expect that. And I wanted to tell you that, you know, big ups on your podcast. Expect people to call it small. Expect people to call it little. I've even had people call my curriculum a Band-Aid. And you know my response? A Band-Aid is a whole lot when you have an open wound.
Yeah. I just laugh.
I don't laugh anymore.
And
you know, because when you laugh, it's kind of like, okay, it's all right with me. You know, if someone steps on my toe, I'm going to turn around right then and there and tell you, hey, you stepped on my toe.
Yeah.
Now, how you want to deal with it after that, it's totally up to you, because although I'm now a Christian woman, I try to walk as close to God as possible. But God is non-violent, and sometimes my praying hands can become laying hands. It just all depends.
Yeah.
You see, because the problem is people in the fight think that we're immune to stuff. Baby, we the targets. So if you let one thing slide, baby, they're going to put 6 feet of tarp and slide with Dawn dishwater and a water hose like we used to back in the day. No, we're not letting anything slide. Nothing.
What you think about the state of Louisiana?
Is Louisiana really a real place at this point? Is it really a real place? We have more suicides, okay? More homicides, and although those are 2 different acts, they're all linked to the same mental disability.
Yeah.
And with those highest crime rates, or mortality rates, the governor has cut mental health funding. He has cut the programs. You have the president-elect that's coming in that I pray has a total laying of hands by God. Okay, I do. He's going to be president. There's nothing we could do about it, because we're not barbaric like them when they went on over there on the 6th of January last time with the insurrection. We're not going to do that. You know, but what we're also not going to do is allow people to slip, slide, and disregard us for who we are. You know, not everybody can speak up or out. Not everybody, and I recognize that. Chop, at this point, number one, before I had my strokes and became completely disabled, because that's what I am, you know, and all of that was through cyber harassment on the internet, right? But I have gone from that, before that, I couldn't even get a job in my hometown. And I've been a nurse 27 years, sir. You know why? Because people consider me, my best friend calls me an HR nightmare. And I get it. I get it. But I have actually embodied Fannie Lou Hamner's thought of this. We got to be willing to lose everything for something that matters. And I have lost jobs, baby. And I'll show them to you, because you know I don't spit nothing if it ain't provable.
Big facts.
You know, we don't speak feelings. I got proof. I've had people tell me we were gonna give you a grant, but your social media is this. Talking about back in that JB time, he ain't call his name. I've had people just run my name through the mud. You hear me? Can't even get a job with all the credentials I have. And then I realize I'm protecting us from them. So what, I'm going to go and be confined to their ways and,
big facts.
Baby, I don't give a damn about. I've had my electricity cut off, sure have. I've had my lights, my water cut off sometimes, sure have. Just like a whole lot of others about to be when they increase this tax and get these tariffs. But one thing I did not do, I knew God wasn't going to leave me alone. I had come too far. I had done exactly what he did, what he told me to do. I might have added a little extra, which is probably why he slapped me down them time. But I did what God told me to do. So I know that I'm going to be taken care of regardless. I may be suffering for a moment, but baby, that don't last always. And I never thought I would be talking like this. But I used to run the clubs. Wednesday was ladies' night at the Charcoal. Thursday I was working in the Rose Room, which was next to the Charcoal. Saturday everybody was in the Charcoal, and Sunday I had to go and meet my little yay. I was in the club all the time and would get up and go to work too, until I realized, well, what in the where I'm getting with that?
Yeah.
You know, just I literally had to escape from my surroundings physically, because I left here 15 years. I left from here. Came back after a divorce or whatever. Life happened. And life still happens. But as long as I'm doing what God told me to do, He gonna protect me while life happens. So I really don't worry no more. You know, I'm good.
Anything you want to say before we end this? First, wait, before you say anything, thank you. I appreciate it. You don't know how much this means to me. I'm honored and grateful for having someone like you that I can speak to.
All the time. I'm always an open ear. And I'm also a non-running mouth. Because be careful of what you say to people, right? If I had to say anything, I'd tell everybody, if you have not gone to a counselor or just sit down and talk to somebody lately, do that before the end of December. Why? Because maybe you need to start at least chipping away at what's needed to be broken in order for you to rebuild in 25. Don't start 2025 with that new year, new me resolution. Don't make resolves. Resolves and resolution mean that you have done it. It's capiche. It's done. That's not what you need to make. This new year, make some New Year's absolutions. You absolutely will do this or absolutely will not do this. And work on that every single day. Write it on a little sticky tab. That's what I tell my children about affirmations. Put it on a sticky note. Put it on your mirror. Start telling yourself the stuff that y'all be looking for other folks to tell to you. It sounds better coming from me anyway. I tell myself every day, baby, you is good looking. You might not have no ass, but you good looking, girl. You know, I'm shaped like a box fan, but you'll never see a prettier one. Speak into yourself. Accept your imperfections. If you can fix them, fix them. If you can't, accept. Because anxiety is literally you trying to change something that you can't.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for inviting me in your beautiful home with this beautiful tree. Pelican State of Mind TV. Thank you.
Subscribe.